like to say I'm your Sunday night news destination. Coming up on the show tonight, why are we still letting this woman lie to us? Seriously, like what? Just listen to this.
And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
I'm going to be talking more about that. And has the world gone a little bit woke? Is it too woke? Is it gone too soft? And are we never, ever, ever going to get it back to where it was? I want to hear your thoughts tonight. You can get me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307, or you can call in. I want to talk to you on the WORD talk line, which is 800 905 0989. Don't forget, we are streaming as well. We are live on the stream. If you want to get in contact with me there, you can go on to the WORD 989 Facebook page or my own Facebook page, which is Odi_Fitzgerald. You can definitely reach me there. I will be talking to a lot of people. I get a lot of comments on that, so it's right there. Now, first thing I want to talk to you is breaking news. It only came in just before I came on air, and I got as much information as I could. There's been another plane crash. There's been another accident. Is it happening too often? So in Los Angeles County today, there was a mid-air plane crash. There was two light aircraft. They were small one-engine Cessna aircraft, and they collided. There's a lot has to happen for two light aircraft to crash into each other. There's radar. I'm saying a lot of this because I have my pilot's license. I have flown many times. I've flown small aircraft, and I'm just a little bit. I don't know why it's happening. I don't know what's going on. As I say, today in Los Angeles County, that a pilot, unfortunately, one of the pilots lost his life. Now the other pilot in the other aircraft suffered some minor injuries, and there was a few other people in the aircraft. There was injuries, but one of the pilots lost his life. And to make matters worse, it was in LA County. Now, if anybody that's been over to Los Angeles, they know exactly how crowded everything is over there. There's not much room for anything else. Los Angeles County is big. One of the planes, it crash landed near Avenue G, near 60th Street, and fire officials say that the California Highway Patrol confirmed that there has been it's a second aircraft crashed on 47th Street near Avenue F. Wait, what? How was there not more people injured? The LA County and the Sheriff's Department and the LA County Fire said that they're handling situations and they're inducting an investigation or commencing an investigation. But this is not the first time that we've had air crashes happening or accidents with airplanes. Remember a couple of weeks back, September 10th, 12 days ago, over in where is it? In Atlanta, in Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Two Delta aircraft. Now these are big aircraft. They're not your little Cessnas. These are big passenger aircraft. They were coming in. One of the aircraft was waiting. The other one was taxiing. Coming in off. He was after landing, and he clipped the back of the other. I mean, I don't mean to giggle, folks, but how does that happen? I mean, he didn't just give it a little clip. He didn't just give it a small little tap. He hit it so hard that the entire tail section of the aircraft came off. I'm I'm not even going to talk about what happened with Boeing in the last couple of months. We had doors falling off. We had aircraft having issues, aircraft unable to move. I just don't know. I mean, is it a thing that the cabin, or not the cabin crews, that the pilots aren't being trained enough? Now, I know when I done my multi-instrument rating, when I done my twin engine rating, I done all my ratings, pretty much had to fly blind. I had to fly just by my instrument panel. It's been a while since I've flown. But I know when I was doing my tests, when I was doing my exams to get my pilots, to get my wings, I had a lot to do. I had a lot of work to do. I had a lot of homework to do. I had to do a lot of flying hours. I had to be able to communicate perfectly with the air traffic control. There's a lot that goes into it. So is it a case that the pilots are they not being trained properly anymore? Is something happening there? Are people just getting into aircraft and you kn I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Is it the air traffic control? What are they doing? Air traffic control is one of the highest stress jobs on the planet. Not even just in America, on the planet. Air traffic control. They're the guys. I was talking to an air traffic control guy once, and he was saying to me that they cannot they cannot look at the dots on the screen and think that's an aircraft. That's an aircraft with 400 people, 300 people, 200 people on it. They can't do it because it's such a stressful. They know it is. They know that's what it is. They know that's what's happening, but they can't do it because if they know that they're looking after thousands, millions of people's lives every single year, the stress will get to them. It is the highest stressed job. Is the training not there anymore? Is the problem that the um the aircraft technicians maybe they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing? When I was a young kid, I wanted to go in and I wanted to work in aircraft. I became a tool maker and onto engineering and like, maybe aviation is the way to go. But there was so much red tape on aviation. If you want to make anything in aviation, it's insane. It is insane. Common sense retirement planning text line. Odie, Odie, shout out to Kid Flaccid. Yeah. If you listen to any of the shows, you'll know what that's all about. Yeah, Kid Flaccid. He's always here. Texter Odie, why is it is not allowing Kamala continuing lies. It is leftism. Well, we were talking about it earlier that she's still lying about the guns and she's still lying about the bad stuff. It could be. I think she's just lying. And I will talk more about that. I will definitely talk more about that in a few minutes. On the stream, Elizabeth said to me, both were high-winged aircraft. I know a Cessna was one. Yes, it was. One of them was a Cessna. And she goes on to say then that maybe the FAA is using DEA hiring guidelines. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's kind of scary. I mean, it makes me very happy. Like I haven't been back to Ireland in quite a while. I haven't. I 2019 brought my wife home to Ireland and well, not home to Ireland, to Ireland. I mean, this is my home now. I've well and truly established myself here in America. And I brought my wife over to Ireland and the plane ride wasn't fantastic. Wasn't. And with everything that's happening lately, I'm a little bit, well, uh, maybe I shouldn't go flying. I'm not saying don't. Statistically, a lot of people have said that statistically, and I have the facts and figures here, you're more likely to be killed, right? And get this, by a donkey. You're more likely to be killed by a donkey than you are to be killed in an aircraft. Well, that's what they say. I don't know. Don't be around too many. We do have a donkey on our property, but I try not to be around too many donkeys. Yeah. Anyway, when I come back, I'll be talking about 3 Mile Island. You're listening to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. I'm going to silence you. Guys, I just have it muted. I mean, I will, if anybody asks any questions or comments, no problem, I'll chat away to you. But the thing is, hang on there. The aircraft, the light aircraft crash that happened in LA. And joining me on the line now on the WRD talk line is TJ. Oh, hold on a second. I think he's gone. He's still there. No, he's gone. We lost TJ. Sorry about that. Yeah, TJ was going to tell me about. There he. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we got him. We got him back. TJ, how you doing, buddy?
I just wanted to know that wasn't me.
No, there's a little gremlin in the works. TJ, so you are a private pilot, and
yes, multi-engine instrument rated.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, you have you have what I would have had many years ago, but I haven't flown in quite a while. What do you think is causing it? What do you think
man.
is?
You should do it. It's not that expensive.
It's not.
All you need is 40 hours of solo.
Mm-hmm.
You should do it. Just take your time and save your money.
Get back into it again. I have all my logbooks. I have everything there, so I think it's just a case of getting
all
back
you need.
So TJ, what do you think is happening? Why do you think all of a sudden that there's so many accidents involving aircraft?
Okay, well, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all of a sudden. This has been, I would say, the percentage, relatively speaking, of aircraft incidents it's not really on the increase.
Right.
Now, there are a lot of standard lowering of standards lately,
mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't think that it's really much higher than what the average has been throughout the decades.
But when you say that the lowering of standards, I mean, we've got people that are going up in the air. I mean, once you're over 10 feet, it's going to hurt when you hit the ground.
It's fatal at that point. It's fatal as soon as you start your takeoff roll.
Exactly. And once you get into rotation, that's it. You're dedicated to it. So why have the standards started to slip? Why is standards starting to go down a little bit?
A lot of that is the result of DEI.
Mm-hmm.
We're pushing people ahead of the line that really, everybody has a knack for something.
Yes.
I couldn't do what you do. I would sound like an utter buffoon. People would be calling in saying, this guy, you need to get somebody else. You are a good example of the type of person that I believe should be on the radio.
Well, thank you, sir.
It's the same thing. Well, it's the truth. I'm so glad. It's so refreshing on a Sunday evening. I can listen to somebody that is making sense. But and also I love the accent because, as I told you, I love the quiet man, and I'm a Maureen O'Hara man. Come on, how much better can you get? But it's not
You
going
reckon?
to help
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
if we start pushing people ahead of the line just because of race, religion,
Gotcha.
sexual preference.
I gotcha.
Same thing is
So what you're
happening
saying
with
is
Boeing.
if they can fly and if they can manage aircraft, if they can work on aircraft, then they should be doing it. If it's a kind of person that after a week of training they're not going to get it, it's a case of, okay, look, you tried, you done your best, but this is not for you.
There needs to be some sort of something like that. Yes, commercial pilots now. I think you need something like 1,500
Yeah,
hours.
you need a lot of hours, a lot
I
of
have
time.
almost 1,000 just as a private pilot,
Yeah,
and that is very expensive when you get to that point.
yeah.
But we just need to use common sense in this situation. And
Well,
I didn't
I
even
think
hear
TJ,
about.
TJ, unfortunately, common sense is not very common anymore. Listen, TJ, thank you so much for your call. I really appreciate you
You're
taking the time
welcome.
to come in. And there you have it, like a pilot, like an actual pilot, a guy that is currently, I mean, may not be currently in the air, but he's telling us that the standards are starting to slip. Well, no wonder we're getting a lot of accidents happening. No wonder things are going. And as he said, that we're not getting more accidents happening. It's just I think they're being reported more. I think they're coming out more. I think we're learning about them more. Because, well, obviously the world is now run by social media. I hate to say it, but I mean, you say that the world is run by the politicians. Are they being controlled by the social media? Are we being told what to see and what to do? Every time you look at somebody, they've got their head down because they're on the phone. They're looking at different things on social. I will hold my hand up. I do it as well. Now I like to make the excuse that I'm doing it for work, but I do it as well. I'm on social media. I get a lot of information from it. Some of the social media is great. Some of it is terrible. As TJ was saying, the standards are slipping, and we're getting more people are being pushed into jobs that they're not capable of doing. We're getting a lot of people that, oh, I think I might be able to do that, and you have their parents. I think we've gotten to this stage now where if somebody, like I said it to my wife when I moved over to America and I got married, and I said it to my wife. I was like, I think I'd like to get back into radio. And she said to me, "Do it. You can do it. You've done it years ago. Get back into it." And I did. And it was a great thing. It felt fantastic. It feels great to be back on radio. I love it. On radio for many years in Ireland, and here I am in America and back on radio, and I love it. But if your kid comes to you, and they say, "Daddy, I want to be an airline pilot," it's like, okay, buddy, but you're not very good at mathematics, and you're just not. I don't think you're not. You've no hand-eye coordination. You were aiming at the target and you shot the dog, and it's just I don't think it's for you. I don't think it's the right line that you need to go down. I don't think it's where you need to go. When you get older kids and they leave school and I want to be an airline pilot, and their teacher says to them, well, the teacher doesn't say it to them because I don't think teachers say much to. Well, maybe they do. There is good kids out there, but I don't think they're getting people saying to them, I don't think this is for you. I don't think this is the right job for you. I don't think it's where you're going to progress. I don't think it's where you're going. I don't think it's where your skill set lies. I remember when I was 17 years old, I walked into my very first tool room. Tool room is a place that makes big, massive toolings. As I said, in my career, many years ago, I started out as a tool maker. And I walked into a room, and the engineering manager, he came over to me and he says, "Have you ever worked with tools before? Have you ever worked with steel before?" "No, never worked with steel before." He said, he looked at me and he just shook his head. And he goes, "Right, show me your hands." I showed him my lovely, soft, baby soft hands. And he said to me, "Can you drive a forklift?" And I looked at him and I said, "Not really." And he said, "Can you drive a car at least?" I said, "Yes, I can. I can drive a car." And he said, "Right, I'm going to take you on for a week. I'm going to give you small drawings to do. I'm going to give you little work to do. I'm going to get you to clean up. I'm going to see if you can do it." And in that week, it was hardship. It was 100%. It was back in 1998, and it was hardship. It was when men were men and apprentices were scared. And it was like that. And I was given a week, and I was given small little projects to make. And at the end of the week, it was like I was able to do it. And he said, "Yeah, you're able to do it. You've got a mind in you. You can make an unsquare block of steel square. It's not fantastic, but that's what you're here to do. You're here to learn. You're here to. We're going to help you." And is that what's happening? Is that people aren't trying it out? Do you remember? I don't know. Is this still a thing? Text me in Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Is it still a thing that people are going, young kids in school? If there's teachers out there, I want to know this. Is it still a thing where a kid to do a week or 2 weeks of work experience where they go to I, I don't know, they go to a mechanics workshop, or they go to a radio station. They come in on a radio station and they learn how to press all the buttons, and they learn how to work the board and work the desk. Is that still a thing? I want to know, is that something that's still happening? Is it kids are just sitting there and they're looking at stuff on TV? Oh, I really want to be an actor, but yet they can't act at all. Or oh, walk into the parents and you go, "Mama, Daddy, I want to be a brain surgeon." And you're looking at them going, "Oh." But again, if it's a thing where they say they want to be a brain surgeon, and their parents know, well, you're okay with blood, and you stitched up your brother there yesterday and he was okay after it, and you mightn't be too bad at it. Maybe it is the right career for you. Is it a thing that you can do some sort of work experience or work, anything like that? I'd love to know. I really, if you're a teacher out there and text in, give me a call. Anyway, when I come back, I will be talking about 3 Mile Island. No, sorry. Um, Liz, what he sent to me in the army, I wound up teaching the air traffic control school. Right. I was assigned to teach a block of instructions on how we keep aircraft. There you go. Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine. Anyway, I'm going to mute you for a second, guys. Hey, Harold, how are you, buddy? What's the PCSD? What's that? Is that one of the schools, one of the high schools? I'll actually, Harold, I'll talk about that when I come back, man. Pickens County High School, yeah. Or Pickens County School District. I'll talk about that when I come back. I do want to get on to talk about 3 Mile Island, because that to me smells a little bit dangerous. But yeah, no, I will talk about that when I come back. Um, that's a good thing that you brought up, man. Sorry, guys, I'm on my own tonight. But no, I will get everybody. And as I said, Harold, I will get chatting about that. Feel free to text in as well, 71307, or call in if you want to. Call in when the ad breaks are on. I'm on my own. I have to answer the phones. Okie dokie.
Be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575.
Hi, you're very welcome back. Before the break, I was talking about, is it time to get the kids back shadowing people that in a career that they may want to do? On the stream, Harold was on to me and he was saying that he thinks, or no, he was telling me that in Pickens County School District, kids no longer get the chance to shadow anymore, to do job shadow anymore. And he believes that it was stopped when COVID happened. I'm probably with you with that, and it's just never been brought back up. It's never been brought up again. That to me is horrible. I remember as a kid. I went on. I don't know where it was. I know it was a factory. I was working at the time, and I went job sharing, or not job sharing, job shadowing, and it was weird. I didn't like it. I'm not going to say what job it was, but I didn't. But I did. And then when I was in high school, I went on a job shadowing for a radio station. And well, you know what happened there. On the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, it says, Odi, back in 11th and 12th grade, I went to a half day school and then a half day in trade school. They don't have apprenticeships anymore. Yeah, no, I heard that. Back in Ireland, apprenticeships are still pretty big. They're still a big thing. So I've heard that that's still happening in Ireland. But yeah, from what I believe, I've heard that apprenticeships aren't really the biggest thing over here. But is that something that should come back? Do proper apprenticeships? Now, when I say proper apprenticeships, where you're on the job, you're working on the job, and you go to college. You may go to college at night, or you may take a couple of months at college and you go back to the job. You're learning on the job. You're learning from your qualified tradesperson. Do they need to come back? I'm not too sure. On another text, Odie, everybody thinks that you go to college to make the big bucks. No, you just owe the big bucks. I have a student loan. I know where that's coming from. But yes, you don't have to go to college to make the big dollars. You don't. It's something that I've talked about before, that, when you go for a job, if you go for any kind of job, they ask what qualifications you have, and you show them your qualifications, and all that is literally all those qualifications show somebody is that you're able to stick something out for 4 years or 3 years or 2 years, however long your qualification, or 7 years if you're a doctor. But that shouldn't be the way it is. When you look at someone's resume and you see everything that they've done. Now, granted, if they're straight out of college, remember, a lot of people straight out of college, they they go for a job, and the person will say to them, well, you don't really have much experience. You've got college experience, but you don't have real world experience, and we want real world experience. And you kind of sit there and go, well, why did I go to college then? So, well, you definitely have a bill because of it. Now, 3 Mile Island. Remember 3 Mile Island? It's a nuclear power plant. Well, on Friday, the owner on Friday said that it plans to restart the reactor under a 20-year agreement that calls for tech giant Microsoft to buy the power to supply data centers with carbon free energy. What's your thoughts about this? Carbon free energy. Yes, look at nuclear power. It is one of the cleanest. I know sunshine, solar power is very clean. Wind power is clean. Nuclear power, it's clean and it's safe until there's a meltdown. And that's what happened 3 Mile Island. You may remember, I don't, I wasn't even alive. First of all, I wasn't in America. And second of all, I wasn't even alive when it happened. But there was a meltdown. It was the worst commercial nuclear power accident. It happened in 1979 in Harrisburg, just outside Harrisburg in Pennsylvania. I think it's Pennsylvania. And it destroyed one of the reactors. It was reactor unit number 2, and it left reactor unit 1 just running. But now they're saying that they're going to restart reactor number 1. There's a few things. Why are they not saying, why is Microsoft not saying, well, we can probably generate the electricity with, solar power, or we can generate it with wind power. We have the technology, we're able to do it. Why are they not saying that? Why are they not saying that, they're capable of generating the power that they need? How much power do they need? That's something else that I want to talk about. How much power? There's a lot of power is generated in a nuclear power plant. Now, I will go back and say that nuclear power is safe. You've got all the submarines. There is countless numbers of submarines going around the waters of the world, the oceans of the world. They've got an American flag on the side of it, and they've got a nuclear power plant inside them. Them bad boys can stay underwater for a long time. As long as they've got food, they can stay underwater. They can stay going because they have electricity. They've got enough electricity to run nuclear powered submarines. I think I could be wrong, but I want to say indefinitely. I don't know. But now they're talking about reopening 3 Mile Island nuclear plant because they need a whole ton of energy. They need so much energy because Microsoft need to run some of their data centers. Is there something else happening? Now, you may be asking, what are the data centers doing? Well, they're AI. They're artificial intelligence data centers. Okay. They're going to be supplying the Mid-Atlantic energy grid, the electricity grid, and it goes from Virginia all the way to Columbus, or go all the way to Ohio. I think Columbus is in Ohio. My geography, my American geography isn't fantastic. I'm getting there. I'm working on it. I have 14 or 15 states under my belt at this stage. Getting there. I was only talking to my wife this morning, and I said we need to go more places, and she's like looking at me and, all right, but we do. We need to go more places. I need to see more of America. They're going to be using. So does that mean that AI is going to be looking after? Is AI going to be looking after the electricity? That's kind of scary. That's a little bit kind of out there. We've all seen Terminator. We've all seen what happens when, the Terminator takes over and goes into control and the humans are no longer in control. Is that what's going to happen? Is this the beginning, another beginning of the end? What's your feelings on it? What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. Odi, I would have to disagree with you. Chernobyl in Russia was, yes. No. Chernobyl was worse than 3 Mile Island, but it was the worst on the mainland America. It was the worst nuclear power plant meltdown that ever happened in America. So yes, no, you're right. Yeah, Chernobyl was a lot worse, is a lot worse. You still can't go to Chernobyl. You can go there, you can see it, you can spend time around there. You've got a clock, you've got a Geiger counter. You can be in the area for a certain length of time, but it's not. I'm not going to do it. No. I'm not going to do it. No, no, what you'd catch from that. You don't know what would happen. But yeah, no, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit concerned. That's all it is. Just ever so slightly. Anyway, when I come back, is your mobile phone safe? So I'm going to talk about you're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Sorry, guys, I was doing a promo there.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information,
I don't know why it keeps going fuzzy.
9105. 800-727-9105.
I don't know.
800-727-9105.
Should fix it again.
Can't miss moments from the Charlie Game Show. It's gonna be the Wild West.
3 Mile High. Yes, I do sing a lot on my own.
First, and I haven't seen that happen either. All of the hand wringing and the pearl clutching that all of these folks were doing, even some folks that claim to be conservative, none of that has come to pass. Studies show that states that have constitutional carry, like New Hampshire, I was talking with a talk show host in New Hampshire, he could not believe we didn't have constitutional carry here in South Carolina. He was flabbergasted. He said, you got to call into my show and tell my listeners. So I did. It's a darn shame that we don't have it here in South Carolina, this supposedly ruby red state. But we do have a few lily-livered rhinos in our Senate that will keep conservative legislation always from passing.
Don't miss the Charlie James Show, weekdays 3 to 7 on East
Okay, let's do this radio stuff again. Okay, so before the break, I was talking about 3 Mile Island being opened up again. Harold on the stream, he said to me that my first thoughts would be that even if it is safe to reopen the power plant that shut down, if AI is going to be looking after the power grid, that's a little bit scary. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is a little bit scary, the fact that AI is going to be looking after it, because it's not going to take long before they just say, you know what, we don't need you. We just use electricity to look after ourselves, and we're not going to look after anybody else. That's where AI comes and gets us. Now, you will recall that during the week there was an incident where a lot of pagers exploded. Now, I'm not going to go into who died, who was killed, who was targeted, but I want you. Are you a little bit nervous about it? Is it a little bit strange? You know, pagers. Now, I know a lot of people, if you use a pager, do you still use a pager? I don't. I never had one. Never, ever had a pager. You can text in on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307, or you can call in on the WORD talk line, which is 800-905-0989. Is it 37 people were killed? Okay, there was thousands of people were injured, but 37 people were killed by pagers. By a number of pagers all going off at the exact same time, with explosives in them all happening at the exact same time. Well, I've tracked the journey of the pagers, and they went from Taiwan. They were made in Taiwan. They went over to Japan. Then apparently they went to Hungary, then to Israel, and then back over to Lebanon. Okay. What I've discovered is that when they stopped off on one of their journeys, they were ordered by Hezbollah. Loads of pagers were ordered by them. Okay, and they were in Lebanon. When they stopped off on one of their journeys, this is what apparently happened. Okay, the pagers were opened up, and the 2 battery cells, you know, the AA batteries, they were taken out of the pagers. Okay, and one battery cell, a stronger battery, was put back in to the pager, and an explosive device, the exact same size, now a lot of power, a lot of kick in it, was put into the pager as well. And there was another little circuit board put into it that would piggyback off of the phone signal reception, whatever you want to call it. And all it took then was one phone call to be made, one page to be sent. Can it happen? Is it now going to be a way where a terrorist attack can happen on normal people? Is it a thing that we're going to be a little bit nervous that, you know, our mobile phones could be targeted? Oh yeah, you go home. I go home today. I've got an old iPhone. You know, it's pretty beat up, but it does what I need it to do. Go on to Apple.com tonight, and I'll just be like, oh, you know, I think I could do with a new mobile phone. And I look at one of the newer models, and I'll realize that they're a ridiculous amount of money. I'll say, no, not going to buy one of the new ones. I'll buy one of the older ones. And when it comes to me, has it stopped off? Has it been anywhere else apart from the Apple store or where it's made, the Apple manufacturing area? Then to me, has it been anywhere else? Is there any way that something bad could happen on my phone? I do remember, if you've had your phones for quite a while, I don't think anybody has pagers anymore. Well, obviously, in Lebanon they still use pagers, but different cultures use different things. You know, is there a case that something like that can happen? I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's kind of very scary. But has your phone, for that matter, has anything come directly from when you buy a car, right? You buy a car. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not. You know, we live in a free country, and for the likes of this to happen, it's not really, probably not. But has anybody interfered with anything that you have ordered? Has anybody interfered with it? Has it come straight to you? Streamline on the Streamline, John came on to me and he says, I didn't realize that they still make pagers. I guess if you had one, you got it, you rock back to the 1990s. Again, John, as I said, some people still use pagers. I never had one. I do remember that when I was a kid, I think I was about 15 or 16, that it was a big thing, and everybody was, oh, page me, oh, get me on my pager. Was it a big thing over here? I think it was a big thing here. You can tell me. I want you to tell me, was it a big thing over here in America? I believe it was. I believe pagers were a much bigger thing than mobile phones when mobile phones first came out. I think everybody still used the um, phone boxes. That's the one. Phone boxes. Are we going to go back to pagers? Probably not after what happened over the week. 37 dead, thousands of people injured. John was back on the stream and he said, yes, it was. Yes, pagers were a big thing over here. And it, like, do you know where everything is coming from? Do you know where your products are coming from? Donald Trump has said that he wants to slow down the importing of goods, the importing of, when he becomes president again, he's going to slow down the importing. He's going to make sure that everything that American people need is made here in America. And I can't wait for that. They're doing it in Australia. They can do it in Australia. You are not allowed to bring anything into Australia. You're not allowed to bring, I have a story, a really quick one. I was flying to Australia years ago. On the plane, I was given a bottle of Coca-Cola, and it had the Qantas logo on the side of it, and I had it in my backpack. And when I went in, and the guy said to me, "G'day, Bruce. Anything to declare, mate?" I said, "No, I've nothing to declare at all. Thank you very much." And he said, "Sorry, mate. There seems to be a bottle of Coca-Cola in your back bag." I was like, "Oh, okay," and I took it out, and he goes, "You need to declare this, mate." I'm like, "Hold on a second now. I got this on the Qantas airline. Your logo is on the side of it. You want an Australian person gave it to me. I will give it back to you. I have no problem. It hasn't been open." And that's how serious they take things in Australia, that only stuff from Australia can be in Australia. You can't bring food, you can't bring anything like that into it. Only, items that are made there. And is it going to go back that way over here in America? Yes, it should. We need to get back to self-dependency. There's enough talent. There's enough farmers. I'm not. Oh, no. I'm not giving out about the farmers. No. Without the farmers, we would all be dead, because we would have no food, we would have no clothes, we would have no industry. There would be nothing without the farmers. Farmers are there for our benefit. And any of these people, oh, cow farts, or they're, oh, if it wasn't for the farmer and making all them cows, because the farmers are making the cows, and if it wasn't for all them, there'd be no cow farts, and then there'd be no problem with the greenhouse, and there'd be no problem with anything like that. So I'm not blaming the cow. I'm not blaming the farmers. But I think it needs to go back to the fact that we need to do everything here ourselves. We need to be extremely self sufficient. Everything needs to stay in America. Everything needs to be done in America. And I think the Donald is right. And John is on the stream and he says, in the truckers, yes, if we don't have the farmers and we don't have the truckers, well, you know what? We don't have anything. Anyway. When I come back, I'm going to be talking to a very good friend of mine up in New York who's living the American dream. Somebody else might pop in as well. You're listening to Sunday Nights with me, Odi Fitzgerald, here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Yes, it should. Everything should be made in America.
Democrats, Republicans must come together. That's the only way we've kept the government open. Every time the MAGA right has had its sway with the Republican caucus, they've been unable to pass a budget, and that's what happened last week.
The House Speaker had linked the temporary funding to a mandate compelling states to require proof of citizenship to vote. The party's presidential nominee Donald
Hi, you're on with Odi.
insisted the mandate be included, but it was
Oh, how are you?
key.
Why did it come up
To
as N.
get
Carrington?
agreement from some Republicans as well as Democrats. President Biden
That's funny, no?
commenting on rising tensions in the
That's
Middle
funny.
East regarding Israel's recent attacks on Hezbollah and the terrorist group's rockets fired into
No, there's the news is playing there now. Didn't. I had a strange day today, folks. I did. Don't know why it was strange, but it was. It's one of those days, I suppose. No. I've got a little surprise for you in a couple of seconds. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it all right. Thanks very much for joining in, John and Harold, and who do we have earlier on? Elizabeth, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really do. This is why I do it. Try to get the news out for you because, Sunday nights, that's what happens. And I do have a little surprise for you in a couple of minutes. The old beard is getting long. I was saying it last night. Beard is getting long. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt I was wearing yesterday, but I have a different t-shirt on. Somebody sent me in a message and said, why are you wearing the same shirt as yesterday? I am. Different t-shirt. Same shirt. Strange things that people talk about. Okay, I'm going to mute again for a second. I've got work to do. Is it off-putting when I'm looking straight here? Because this is where everything comes from, and I'm just kind of like, Is it weird, man? Is it strange? Beard grows back really fast. Really fast, Trey. The hair up here doesn't grow at all. Weird. I've got a couple of things. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to hear this. Hold on, let put this onto the. If you live beneath the Mason-Dixon line and you feel the need of guidance, Southern Psychics is certified reader standing by just for you. Give us a call on 1-900-BLESS-YOUR-HEART. That's 1-900-BLS-UHRT.
Howdy, Southern Psychics. My Aunt Myrtle just passed away, and she left her fortune buried in Duke's mayonnaise jars down by the creek over in Pickens Holler.
Hey, boy, let's look for the cigarette butts by the hollowed stump where Myrtle hit her shine. And, take a shovel.
Thank you, Southern Psychics. Come on, Betty June. We gonna see Bigfoot.
If you can't find your dog, your wife, or your job, or even the keys to your camper, then call Southern Psychics. That's 1-900-BLESS-YOUR-HEART. I repeat, 1-900-BLS-UHRT. We're not waiting on your call because we know it's coming.
The proceeding was parody courtesy of the Upstate Pulse. Not a real number, not a real product, not a real show. Yankee, go home!
And now, welcome to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. Live conversation and lively debate about what's trending in the Carolinas. This is Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald on News Talk 98.9 WORT, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hi, you're very welcome back. You know, I thought for a second I had gotten rid of him. He's back. Somebody let him back into the studio.
Hello. Is that you, Odi?
Yeah, it is, Patty.
Look at you there now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're back at it.
I am. I'm always
you were
there.
never away. I
No,
was.
you were gone.
Yeah, I was picking potatoes and I was planting turnips. You know, it's the right time of the year to be doing it. I think it is anyway. Sure, I wouldn't have a clue at the best times. But come here till I tell you, did you know that Microsoft, all the boys, they've loads of money and Bill Gates is all there as well. Well, they're after buying a nuclear power plant because they want more electricity because they don't have enough electricity. But here's the thing, is that they're going to be using their artificial in AI. What's it? Artificial intelligence. Well, they're going to be using that to run the power plant. I don't know about you, but that just spells bad news for me. Did they never watch that film Terminator? You know, where every computers were taking over the world and robots. Yeah. But anyway, speaking of taking over the world, there's a guy and he says that he's from the year 2671 and that there's extraterrestrials are going to come back and they're going to take over the world. Now, I'd rather that, you know, he's a self-proclaimed time traveler. Now, I'd rather myself that he'd give me the winning lottery numbers. But no, he's saying that people are going to come from the future and they're going to come very soon. And it's going to be like, it's going to be crazy and the world is going to melt down. I don't know about that. Anyway, listen, I'm going to go. Odi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Patty.
Hello, Odi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to go, and sure, I might be back next week. You never know what happens.
Okay,
I have a few spuds that have to get out of the ground before they go frozen. Oh,
Right.
yeah, no, it doesn't freeze over here. That's
No.
right. Anyway, look, I'll talk to you later. Good luck. Shlon. Bye.
There is something very wrong with that boy. You know, he followed me all the way from Ireland, and I don't know what he came over for, but you know, he could have been living the American dream. Now, speaking of the American dream, joining me on the WORD talk line all the way from New York City is a very good friend of mine, Vivian Sayers O'Callaghan. Vivian, how are you doing this evening?
Odi, how are things? Come on too.
Oh, Tommy go Hanawa Erfod.
Out.
Now, we're going to keep it in English because there's a few words in Irish that we're not allowed to say because they sound
sure.
a little bit, bold, a little bit naughty.
Mhm.
So we're not going to say them as best we can. But what I do want to talk to you, we've known each other for quite a while, and I've been following your endeavors on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all the fun stuff. When did you come to America? Well, you came to America, was it last year?
I came to America May 1st, 2023. So what's that, 15 months ago?
I think about 15, yeah.
Yeah, I was living in Boston beforehand though. I moved over when I was about 21. So I was living in Mass for a while. And then I said, not doing this. So I moved over to New York then.
Right. So when you came over first, what was the plan? Was it just you came over on your student visa, or was it a work visa, and you started working for an American company, and I think was it promotions?
Yeah, so when I first came over, I guess I got the job March 31st, and I was then, landing in New York City May 1st, 2023. And the whole plan was to come over on a J1 visa, it's called.
Right.
And it's basically our only way to kind of work over here in our early 20s if we're not a super phenomenal seasoned professional. So I got a visa to be over here for 18 months and work for a fabulous company. I'm currently an events and outreach manager for Moody's Corporation at 7 World Trade Center. So that was the plan in coming over. But plans sort of changed a small bit. So I guess that's how we know each other. And I started social media.
You decided to get on to social media. Now, if you're just joined in, I'm joined by Vivian Sayers O'Callaghan, all the way from New York. Well, she's from Cork originally, but she's in New York now. And you've I want to say that you've embraced the American dream. Would I be right in saying that? Am I right in saying that? Is that still a thing? Is the American dream still a thing?
I think the American dream is a touchy subject for a couple, and it's definitely subjective. But from my own experience, I guess my idea of defining success, like the American dream, I came over with a couple of pennies in my pocket, as they say, and ended up landing myself a job. And now from being 20, just after turning 22 years of age, sorry, at the time, and then gathering 200k followers online, and then having that just snowball into opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. So I guess my definition of the American dream is coming over, working so hard, embracing all the opportunities, all the challenges, saying yes to everything. And it's not easy. But I guess defining the American dream comes down to, like, what is success to you? Is it financial stability? Others see it as like personal fulfillment or community impact and stuff. And for me, I came to America and I'm living my dream. So I guess, is that the American dream?
Now, we were talking as well before the show, and we were chatting about how the American dream is different for everybody, and it's different for every. And you were saying that maybe Americans don't believe in the American dream anymore. But I said to you, when I lived in Ireland, when I lived in a town called Galway, there was a lot to do. There was a lot to see and do, but I didn't realize it until I saw it through the eyes of somebody that hadn't been around lately, somebody that has seeing it for the first time. And it's like you, like me, coming to America and realizing that everything is out there if you want it. You have to want it, and you have to be prepared to go and get it. And I think that's something that's a little bit lost now. I think a lot of people are now, especially on social media, and I see it, a lot of people feel that it's something that they deserve to have. They make one or two little videos, they put them on TikTok, they put them on Instagram, and like, why am I not famous now? What have you got to say about that? What do you think your comment is on that?
Yeah, so my comment on that is my kind of success with the social media came from the putting yourself out there and being so vulnerable and just like saying, okay, just throw it at the wall and see what sticks and go for it. And it boils down to creating videos and content 3 times a day. I was producing videos, and that was for 3 months straight.
Right.
And I don't know if anyone here has made a TikTok or an Instagram video before, but it is time consuming and it's difficult, but it's about always pushing. But back to your comment there about, I see having come over here and have people say, oh my gosh, Ireland, I'd love to go. It seems amazing, da. And that was my attitude towards the States as well. And I think when you're in that environment of living at home, you can become stunted. And sometimes it takes removing yourself and plonking yourself somewhere else out of your own environment to discover that, okay, there are other things in other places, but it makes you value where you were even more. As I say, like when you moving to the States, becoming Irish became central to my personality.
So if there's anybody out there that's listening to you now, I'm being joined by Vivian Sayers O'Callaghan. If there's anybody out there listening to you and they're thinking, maybe I could do that too. I mean, we've got people listening back in Ireland, we've got people listening back in the motherland, and they're thinking, maybe I could do that as well. What's your advice to someone that's thinking about making, and I want to say, a big lifestyle change? What's your advice to them on doing that?
Well, I'm probably not useful on that front because my lifestyle change was actually having to remove myself from my usual environment. I mean, I lived at home in Ireland until age 20 and I felt stuck. I felt uninspired. And that can happen when you're living at home, of course, as well, because as we know, Ireland is going through a very interesting housing crisis at the moment. So there was no opportunity for me ever to be removed from, being that kid at home and having mom and dad around and everything like that. And sometimes it takes sitting down. Myself, how I do it now is listening to great, super cheesy stuff, listening to Gracefulness podcast, reading entrepreneur books, just having a sit down, talking to yourself about your own personal brand for a moment. What are my values? What's my mission? What do I want to do with myself? And sometimes it takes that internal fire and getting it down on a page to say, yeah, I got to do something about this, lads.
Yeah, and that's it. I think it's just taking that leap of faith, doing your research and pushing through. Well, Vivian, thank you so much for coming on, and I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll see you all over. Your is it the Irish Girl in New York? Is that your?
Oh, yeah, along those lines. If you want to find me on Instagram or LinkedIn or any sort of social media, it's Vivian in NYC, and that's Vivian spelled the French way.
Oh, ooh la la. Anyway, listen.
Ooh la la.
Thank you very much, and slán Walya, and we will talk to you very soon.
Talk to you.
Slán. When I come back, we'll be talking a little bit about what different countries think of America. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Goes there. Oh, please tell me I did that. Oh, please tell me that I did what I'm supposed to do. Yes, I did. Mad World. I'm going to mute you for a second, guys. Not that I'm doing anything. I just, yeah. Again, I'll answer whatever you need me to answer, but John, is today the first? Thanks, man. Is today the first day of fall? Is that not October? Is October not the first day of fall? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Irish seasons are different to American seasons, so I don't know. No, why I'm looking at my watch, it died. Yeah, way too hot today. Way too hot. I got sunburned on Friday. But yeah, I'm Irish. I get sunburned anyway.
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Spread the word. This is News Talk 98.9 WORD.
Now, as you know, I have traveled to many places around the world. I've been to Australia. I've been to most parts. I've been to every country in Europe. And I'm not, it's not a brag. A lot of people in America can say that they've been to every state in America, been to every country in Europe. Similar deal. But here's the thing. Okay. I'm going to play a clip from Sky News in Australia. Okay. And they're talking about our Vice President, Kamala Harris. So here's what they have to say about it.
Here it is again, that cringeworthy vision of US Vice President Kamala Harris laughing out loud alongside the President of Poland after being asked a deeply unfunny question about who'll be taking more Ukrainian refugees.
Now, hold on. Just before we go into this, she is representing the country. She's representing our country in Poland, talking to the president of Poland. Okay, so listen to this.
States to specifically accept more refugees.
So the question was, what is the United States going to do to accept more refugees? Are they going to accept that?
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, I can first. Okay, so this time.
So that was her answer. So she was asked the question, what is the United States going to do to accept more refugees, or what is Poland going to do to accept more refugees? Now, Poland have already made their stance that they're no longer taking refugees. Our representative started laughing and then said, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Rowan, I've got to start with you. Is that really the Vice President of the United States of America who has no appreciation for why she's in Poland?
There you go. This is a guy over in Australia, and they're asking the question, does she not have any appreciation for what she is doing in Poland? Again, she's our representative in Poland. I don't know why Sleepy Joe is not. Well, I know why Sleepy Joe's not over there, but
it's extraordinary, Chris. And that laugh, that kind of cackle. She's got one of those people that you watch and they're laughing at their own joke because there's nothing that's even faintly amusing about what she's being asked or what she's talking about. She does this all the time. I don't know whether it's nerves or just outright stupidity.
I don't think it's nerves. And there you have it. There you have it. In Australia, this woman is going to be running for president, and they're just saying, is it outright stupidity? They're asking the question, is the nominee for the seat of the president of America just stupid?
But she seems to answer every tricky question with this sort of crazy, inappropriate laugh, which of itself, I mean, we're used to some strange vice presidents. We've had plenty of them in the past. But the real danger is she may well be the president before the end of this term. And
there you have it. She may be the president. It's not looking very likely, but she may be the president. How does that make you? I tell you one thing. I've been living here in America for 7 years. I love it here in America. I love everything about it. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just using the words, oh, I love everything about America. I do. I get up in the morning. Chances are it's not raining. I do what I have to do outside, bring my dog for a walk. I go hunting. It's hunting season. It's bow season. I'll go bow hunting. Can't do that in Ireland. Can't do that in Ireland. You cannot go bow hunting in Ireland. It's illegal. Not allowed to do it. I get into my pickup truck. 4.7 litre Toyota Tundra. Yes, it's one of the older ones. And I'll drive around. I've got the freedoms. We've got so much freedoms. But yet, we've decided to send this, and I want to call her a yoke because I don't know what else to call her. A yolk is something, it's the inside of an egg, but it's also something that Irish people say when we don't really know what to call somebody or something. This yolk. We're sending this yolk over to Poland. She's representing the country. And she laughs. That's all she does. She just, I don't know whatever accent I'm surprised she wasn't trying to do a Polish accent. I'm really surprised she wasn't trying to do a Polish accent. On the text line, the Common Sense retirement planning text line, Odi, it's amazing how Sky News will tell the truth, but the American mainstream media continue to lie for Harris. Why is that? You tell me, texter. Another texter says, Odi, Harris needs to be tested for drugs and alcohol before she speaks in public. Listen, I'm not saying that. I mean, if I can't come to work drunk, I wouldn't come to work drunk. I wouldn't do it. I'd be fired. If somebody asked me a question on the message service, right? Someone texted in and asked me a question, and I was like, well, that's a very relevant question you're asking me there, and it's all to do with the tide and the moon and the way it, I had a hard childhood. You wouldn't listen you'd stop. She's representing our country, but yet she can't talk. People in Australia are now saying she's stupid. I've had people from Ireland contact me and they've said, why are you voting, man? Are you and I, as I've said many times, I can't vote. I'm not a citizen, not yet. On my way to it, nearly there. Permanent resident. Not entitled to vote, just quite yet. A lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter, you could do it anyway. Sorry, I had a bit of a Kamala nerve there. Started laughing. If I did what she did, I wouldn't be here anymore. She's not making sense. Around the world, people in Ireland are asking me how I'm voting. And then I'm saying, well, if I could, I'd vote Republican. I would. Obviously not. And now they're starting to say, oh, that could be a good thing. That might be the right job. Scary. It is scary. People are now starting, everybody's like, oh no, back in Europe, they're like, oh no, Trump is bad. But now they're saying, well, he's a lot better than the alternative. But that's because the news that's getting to Ireland and Europe and from America is not the news that we want to get there. It's not even slightly. When I come back, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about people not answering questions or lying. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Yeah, John, like he does get it more. And she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. It's scary, man. I just push it away because when it's right up close to me, it starts to pick up everything. So you can hear me breathing heavy. It's just weird.
Timeshare Resort, or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
And now, a can't-miss moment from the Charlie James Show.
The Center for Immigration Studies found last year from January 2023 to December of 2023, 320,000 illegal immigrants were allowed to fly into the U.S. from their home country because they have an app. They have the one app that allows them to get in. Oh my God. This app was created to let migrants apply for parole in the U.S. They're just bringing them in wholesale now. Well, these people apparently, they went to the border and they were told, no, you can't come in. So they had to go back home. And then when they got home, they just got on the app. We sent a plane and picked them up. That's what the Biden administration is doing. And folks, let me just tell you, all of this is the stuff that Mike Johnson could have put a stop to. Republicans in Congress could have put a stop to. They could have done it, but they didn't. Because they don't want to.
Don't miss the Charlie James Show. Weekdays 3 to 7 on WR.
And you're very welcome back. Now, before the break, we were talking about what the different countries think about us. And no, not about us. No, different countries like us. They like us over here. They want to come over here. Tourism in America is huge. It's massive. It's not just people traveling within the country. It's people traveling from outside of the country over here to America because it's America. You know, everybody wanted to come here when they were kids and still want to come here now. And there is Disneyland and yeah, there's all those places. May not be why they want to come here. Might want to go see the Rockies. Might want to go skiing. Might want to come and see Odi. You never know. But with Kamala, or however she wants to pronounce her name today, with the lies that she's telling. I mean, seriously. So you all remember this. She said this a couple of days back.
And then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Yeah, she said to stop with the continuous lying. You know, her and Tim Walz, hell, they're gun owners. Yeah, you got me on that. You definitely got me on that. A couple of days after that, she went on to say this.
Responsible behaviors among everybody in the community. And just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
So now, remember, she said, we're not going to take your guns. Stop lying about it. We're not going to take your guns. Said to Donald Trump, stood in front of Donald Trump and said, oh, we're not going to take the guns. No. We're not going to take the guns. And then, a couple of days later, well, you know, if you've got guns, well, we're going to come in and we're going to take a look at them. And, you know, there's not a lot you can do about it because that's what we're going to do. We're going to come in and we're going to have a little look at your guns and we're going to make sure that you're doing everything correctly. And seriously. But that it doesn't even stop there. This is going to be a woman who she's representing the country. My boss here, right? My boss here, we all know him, heard about him on different stations. I can give him a call and I can ask him questions during the week. It doesn't necessarily have to be about work because, you know, I can talk to him and he has answers for me. Or he'll explain something to me. If I ask him a technical question about something here in the station, he'll explain it to me. He'll make sure I got it. He will make sure I got it. And he'll, you know, we'll shoot the breeze for a minute and then be like, is that good? You okay? You happy? Yep. He's my leader. He's my leader here. Go in and have a chat with him. Give him a phone call. Talk to him. Says to me, tells me what I need to know. May not always be what I want to hear, but it's what I need to know. Kamala she was doing a town hall, and this question was asked to her. You listen to this.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
That is a great question, because we're all asking. It's a little bit expensive. We want to know what she's going to do to lower the cost of living. Okay? Here's her answer.
Yeah. First of all, thank you both for
Stalling.
being here.
Stalling.
And
Oh,
yours
stalling.
is
That's what we call a stall. That's what we call in the industry, in the acting industry. That's a stall where we want to have an answer, but
a story I hear around the country as I travel. And
some people will say that's a time for the little earring microphone in her ear to answer the question for her. That's what she's stalling.
in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family.
Ambition to
and
money, yeah.
working hard and
work.
finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently, far more elusive than it's been. And
so a question was asked of her, and she was stealing my lines as well, talking about the American dream. Listen, Kamala, I was talking about that before you were. She didn't answer a question. But like if she was sitting in front of me, what color is the microphone I'm using here? Well, it's a different shade of, well, I think it's The exact same question was asked to the former president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Here it is. This is what he had to say.
How are you going to bring down the cost of food and groceries?
Good. Very good. Thank you. So we have to start always with energy. Always. I don't want to be boring about it, but there's no bigger subject. It covers everything. If you make donuts, if you make cars, whatever you make, energy is a big deal. And we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50.
So there it is. So as Donald does, he just went a little bit off for a second because he's able to talk. But the thing is that Donald Trump is able to talk to us and he's able to give us information. And he was telling us there what he was going to focus on, the people he was going to focus on, the people he was going to talk to. But then he came out to us and he said to us, he gave us a time frame. He said in about 12 months, hopefully, and we he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of work to do. He said 12 months, hopefully, he's going to try his best to cut down costs by 50%. So not only did he give us a time frame, that's an answer to the question, he told us how much he's going to bring it down by. He also told us who he's going to be talking to, the people he's going to be engaging with. He didn't have all the answers, but he made a good shot at it. He made an effort to tell us exactly. He didn't just say, oh, well, it's something to do with this, that, and the other. And, oh, did I ever tell you about the time that I was so poor when I was a kid? And, I grew up in a bad neighborhood. And we don't care. Nobody cares. I had an interesting childhood. Nobody cares. They want to know what I'm talking about now. They want to know what's happening now. I had an interesting childhood. That's my problem. I need to deal with that. Kamala had a rough upbringing. You got out of it. I don't know how. I don't know what you did. You got out of it. I'm just seriously, darling, come on. If you really, really want to be... Now, remember this for a second. Donald J. Trump does not need to be the president. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the publicity. He doesn't need anything like that. He doesn't need more publicity. I mean, the guy is getting on in years. He's in his late 70s. I'm hoping when I'm in my late 70s, I'll be retired. He wants to be president. He wants to be president. He wants to fix the mess ups that have happened in the last 4 years. Remember, the people that are in office now are saying, oh, when I get into office in 6 months' time, this is what I'm going to do. You're there now. You're there right now. Fix it now. Fix it while you're in power. Donald is telling us what he's going to do when he gets back in. Hopefully, he gets back in. On the text line, Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. Odie, I would love to vocalize how I feel about what's going on in America right now, but I can't because it'd be nothing but a bunch of bleeps. Yes, and then Odie would get taken off the air for the FCC. We're all angry. We're all angry. Every single one of us. I had a conversation with my mother-in-law a couple of days ago, and she said to me, what are we going to do if the Democrats stay in? I was like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. On the text line, Odie, as a Leo, they are not coming in my house to take a look without a warrant. Yeah, 100%. 100% right. It's your private domain. God knows you're paying enough money for it. You're paying enough tax for it. You're paying house tax. You're paying everything for it. You keep paying for it. Even when your house is paid for, you're still paying for it. I don't understand that. I might even talk about that next week. But when you're paying for your house, when you're finished, when your mortgage is paid, which takes a long time as it is because you're paying tax on that as well. I don't know. When I come back, I'm going to be talking about something I didn't want to talk about. 17-year-old Lawrence County was arrested for murder. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. I don't need that anymore. I'm gone blurry again, look. I have an itchy nose. I mute you for a second, guys. Yeah, Harold. Everything she speaks, she does. She just. It's like a big joke to her. I don't think she realizes what's going to happen. I don't think she realizes the actual size of the project she's trying to undertake. I don't think she knows. It's kind of scary. She does. She probably does just want the power. And doesn't have any clue. I'll talk about that when I come back, Harold. My nose is so itchy. I've all the old hairs coming over. You know, I need to. Bzzz. And you're very welcome back to the last segment of the show tonight. Now, before the break there, we were talking about Kamala Harris and the stuff that she pulls. On a stream, Harold said to me, she just wants to have the power, but she doesn't want the responsibility that comes with it. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Not even slightly. She wants the power. She wants the money. She wants all that. She wants all the fame, fortune. Donald doesn't want that. Donald has all of that. Donald was a famous man back when I was a kid. You know, when I was a young kid in Ireland. Oh, that's Donald Trump. I know him. Yeah. Love to meet the guy. Really, really would love to meet the guy. Now, in Lawrence County, there was a 17-year-old Camarius Lee Cunningham, who's in custody for murder. Cunningham was charged with the murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime on Friday. This is what's happening now. A 17-year-old kid, whole life in front of him. 17. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand it. When you were 17, when I was back in the 80s and the 90s, we never heard of anything like this happening. We didn't. You know, are kids growing up too fast? Are we making kids grow up too early? I mean, kids, it's been proven that kids are going through puberty a lot earlier. You know, they're developing into adults a lot sooner. But they're still kids. They're still children. There's a 17-year-old committing violent crimes at 17. Do you know what I was doing at 17? I was trying to get a kiss off girls. That's what I was trying to do. I was going to discos and nightclubs, or youth nightclubs. You know, I think they're called underage discos, and you know, you were walking up to a girl and going, "How are you? Do you want to dance?" Or no, it would have been, "Hello, how are you? Do you want to dance?" You know, because you were terrified. I was so afraid when I was a kid. I had respect built into me. Now, yes, it was probably a little bit heavy-handed built it into me, but respect was built into me. I had respect for the cops. Seen a cop coming towards me, I got down off. I got out of the way. I moved. No, this is a grown adult, and I have to respect him because if I don't respect him and if I don't treat him the way he's supposed to be treated, well, I could get in trouble. I could get locked up. Now the kids don't care. They just don't. Are we making them grow up too quick? Are we making kids grow up too fast? 17-year-old. How does a 17-year-old even get his hands on a weapon? I know you're saying that they could be in their house. It could be a parent's gun. It could be a knife or whatever. Sorry, I don't know what the weapon was. It could be belong to the parents. It could be belong to an uncle, an aunt, grandparent. But that shouldn't be going on in their head. I know if I had an argument with somebody when I was in high school, I left high school when I was 18, 17 or 18, I can't quite remember. If I had an argument, it was going behind the bike shed and we'd hammer each other. You know, like, when I don't mean hammer, I mean fisticuffs. You know, that's how it was settled back then. And at the end of it, whoever was lying on the ground hurt, you know, you'd pick them up. Are you okay? No, not really. Well, shouldn't have said what you said. And that was it. And it was over and it was done with. And chances are you could end up being that person's best friend. One of my very good friends back in Ireland, we met each other because he bumped into me, and me being a hot-headed little Irish fella, I said, "Well, what are you doing bumping into me?" And there was an argument ensued and we ended up fighting each other. He got the better of me, knocked me down. 30 seconds later, picked me up, dusted me off. "You okay? Yeah, that's a good fight. Thanks very much." Maybe it's the Irishness. I don't know. But why is it? Why is it that 17-year-old kids, what is it that, and don't blame video games. Don't blame movies. Video games and movies were out when I was a kid. When I was 16, 17, 18, Grand Theft Auto was out. You know, all of those violent video games, they were all out then. They were there. They're not a new thing that nobody's ever seen before. Pulp Fiction was out. Reservoir Dogs was out. Dust to Dawn was out. I know I'm picking on Quentin Tarantino, but all those films were out long before I was a teenager. Might have seen them, probably shouldn't have seen them, might have scared me. But what are we doing wrong? What's happening? Where are we failing our kids? Is it the thing that we're just sending them to school and letting the teachers look after them? Is it that we're blaming the teachers? Is it the thing, oh no, you can go to school and the teachers can teach you respect, and the teachers can teach you how to do this, that, and the other? From what I know, I have a 4-year-old little boy, and I believe that everything starts at home. You know, when you're teaching right from wrong, you're teaching it at home. When you're teaching discipline, you're teaching it at home. If you do something that you're not supposed to do, you're going to face the consequences. If that happens throughout your entire life, consequences are going to stay there. Do you know? It's just, I think we need to re-examine what we're doing for our kids. I think we need to let them know that if you do something you're not supposed to do, there's the consequences. Did this 17-year-old kid that committed a murder, okay? Did they know what's going to happen? Did they know that once you end this person's life, that's the end of their life? There's no more. Like, that's it. Once they die, that's it. Or did they like, oh, it's going to hurt them and I don't want to kill them? Is that what happened? Like, whenever I'm bringing my son hunting, my wife and my father-in-law and my brothers-in-law, my mother-in-law, we're all going to go on a little hunting trip eventually. And when we do, it's going to be that deer. When you take that deer's life, that's it. It's gone. It's over. That deer is no longer alive. Do we need to go back to basics? You know, I'm just a little bit, I don't know what's happening with the world. Is everything moving too fast? Do we need to blame social media? Are kids seeing stuff that they shouldn't be seeing? Like, I know for a fact it's very easy to find anything you want on the internet. You can see anything you want on the internet. You can look up anything you want on the internet. You're a couple of clicks away from seeing anything you want. Everything and anything you want. Should we stop kids from looking at the internet? I don't want to do that, because the internet is not only that, but it is knowledge. People need knowledge. That's what we all need. We all need knowledge. Is it a case of we need to restrict things? We need to, put more parent guidelines on things. Is it a case that we need to care a little bit more? Is it that if our kids are on the internet and we kind of be like, well, what are you looking at? Or why are you looking at that? Or is it checking their history, internet history? Because you can do that. It's very easy to do that. It's not hard at all. You can look after your kids, but the thing is, do you want to look after your kids? And a lot of people do. A lot of people love a lot of people would turn the world inside out, upside down, back to front and sideways to look after their kids. But then there is a small population that don't. And it's sad. And I hate to say it, but I think it's the way the world is going. But we need to do something, and you can do it. We can all do it. We can all help. We can all sort things out. We can all make that little bit of a difference. It's not hard. It's very easy to do. It's very doable. That's just my 2 cents. I know a little bit, you could say ranty, but Anyway, it's time for me to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining in on your Sunday night. Don't forget, Joey's in the morning, then Sarah. Going to be keeping you up to date with everything that's going on. Slán all you folks. See you next week. Bye. All righty. Thank you very much to everybody that tuned in, everybody that commented, Harold and John and Trey and Elizabeth. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning in. This is what I do the show for. All right, guys. See you next week. I'll be back with Lonzo and the guys on Saturday night, and I'll be back here on Sunday. Oh, I will be at Bourbon and Bacon and Bourbon as well. So if you're going down, I'll be there. Talk to you then. Bye. Have fun.